My name is Neelima, and I feel like over the past couple of videos I've overshared about my insecurities and myself, so instead, today let's talk about one of my favorite things of all time, literary inspired web series. It all started a long time ago when I saw this comment on one of Christine's videos which compared her and her sister to Lizzie and Lydia. Intrigued, I decided to give the Lizzie Bennet Diaries a shot. And now, I'm trash. I'm basically trash. I'm not sure what the appeal is for me exactly. I'm not particularly into web series in general or even literary web series that are not vlog style. I think it has to do with the fact that you see this old, dusty, ancient character come to life through the internet. I mean, there's just something amazing about seeing an old Shakespearean character use Twitter. So, anyways, these are some of my favorite web series
of all time.
Well, most of them are just from 2015. First of all, Away From It All. It has one of the best transmedias. That is Strangers, which I keep confusing with Stranger Things, and The ML Agenda, which is currently going on. Also, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries for starting it all. Now, for my faves. Besides the one that I actually chose, I was torn between Northbound, which was one of the first web series that I actually saw as it was going on, and Words from Wild, which, if it wasn't so short, would have been one of my favorite web series. I ended up choosing Green Gables Fables. In 2014, she became the first character that I ever identified with. She had all the same qualities which I liked about myself, such as her imagination, her passion, but she was also really narcissistic and introverted, not in a good way, and would not listen to other people. Like with the Lizzie Bennet Diaries and another web series based on Green Gables, you have to wait to get to Gilbert, but it is so worth it. I'm not a huge fan of their Diana, but I love Ruby. And Green Gables in general works very well as a web series because it has many different stories within, but it's also very much focused on the main character rather than a main storyline. My main problem was in the fact that they skipped a book, which meant that season 2 just seemed very rushed. All in all, it's a pretty good web series. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Next up is Call Me Katie, which is based on Taming of the Shrew, but is less shit. One of my favorite things about Call Me Katie is the fact that it shows white feminism and even extreme feminism very well. Jot Squared is one of my favorite MLM ships of all time. The acting is great, the characters are amazing. It has its problems, it can be hypocritical in many ways, especially when it comes to consent. Season 2 is incredibly queer and I love it. Speaking of queer web series, 12th grade or whatever, aka She's the Man but gay. The script is hilarious and snappy, the characters are wonderful and realistic, and the plotline is a confused mess, as it should be. My only problem was that there was like 1 or 2 actors who aren't that good, but I understand it's a small production. Plus the leads, Oren, Liv and Sam, totally make up for it. The last episode, which you totally tricked us by telling us that you're not gonna do it, was amazing. Prepared to die. Next up is everyone's favorite web series, Nothing Much to Do. This was my own personal favorite for a long time. My favorite character is obviously Benji, Benedict Hobbs's alter ego. He's not real. I still love it, but I was so obsessed with it that I can still recite the lines. Let me tell you a story. It's a story about birds. Lady birds. Nah, not ladybirds. Do you see what I mean? Nothing Much to Do is one of the most realistic web series out there. It's so creative, it uses so many different styles of vlogging to tell this one story. You will see the same thing in like 3 different perspectives. Anyone who knows me knows that I have many problems with this show, especially its sequel, but the characters are still very dear to me and I definitely think that it's one of the best web series. I have mentioned Project Green Gables and Anne Shirley multiple times, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Anne Shirley is everything that I want to be. She is creative, she's imaginative, she's outgoing, she's unafraid to be who she is, which is my biggest thing. One of my favorite things about Project Green Gables is the fact that there's a lot of development. In Green Gables Fables, you get the feeling they've taken the characters directly from their timeline and then just popped them into the real world here, now. Does that make sense? Whereas they've been adapted for the times. The biggest change is obviously the fact that Anne is black and, spoiler alert, Anne is pan. Things like the hair dyeing situation, which was just a bit funny, turned into this heartbreaking, sorrowful thing because racism is a thing. Instead of rowing a boat, he just drives a car like a normal person. But it shows that the creators really know the character and not just his characteristics. There's still a lot of references and nods to the original, but it still feels like a brand new 21st century thing. Web series characters never use end screens, which is understandable. Can you imagine how annoying it would be if you're trying to binge it and someone keeps asking you to subscribe? That being said, I'm not a web series character. So, if you like it, you can give it a big old thumbs up. Please recommend more web series to me down in the comments down below. And if you want to see more, you can hit subscribe and share and whatever. That's it for the video. I hope you liked it. Happy VEDA, goodbye, and cut.